Hi, my name is Spirit, and dang, it's getting harder and harder to find any good Asym games nowadays. My fan theory is that people are too afraid to stand up against the big man upstairs, but I digress. As of right now, all of the Asym games I can think of are either dead, dying, or just flat out unpopular. This really sucks because to me, it feels like my favorite genre of game is just sort of dying out. However, in these times of crisis, we must look outward. We must look past the major video game markets like Steam or Epic and go searching for a different platform to suit our Asym needs. What is this mythical platform that holds the Asym of our dreams? The platform that will shed new life on the genre. Roblox. Okay, maybe I oversold it by a little. And by a little, I mean a lot. So if you don't know this about me, I really like Roblox, or at least part of it. Usually it's just me doing dumb stuff with my friends.
No balloons! Yeah.
Playing the pretty cool games people make, or celebrating the return of the greatest tower defense game ever created by mankind. Sorry, must be the flu. One thing about Roblox, though, is that there are many horror games. There are games that I think are genuinely well made, and some games that stretch the word horror to its limits and aren't very good. However, we're not talking about those. Maybe I will one day, but today is not that day. We're talking about the Asyms of Roblox, of which there are many. Maybe I'll talk about more of these games, at least if y'all want it. But today we're talking about a game that I played during its initial run, and a game I even bought early access for. Today, we're talking about Daybreak. So what is Daybreak? Well, technically Daybreak 2. Daybreak is a 1v8 asymmetric horror game created by the Daybreak dev team and the game's original creator, Brenda. In this game, you play as either a survivor or a killer who's been trapped in the mist, a dimension where the good and the bad are placed in a never-ending game of cat and mouse where death is merely a nuisance, and even if you do die, nobody will remember you. Your goal as a survivor is simple. Fix generators, don't get caught, help those who did, and escape. You can use the unique abilities you have to either keep the killer at bay, escape the killer's chase, complete your objectives faster, or even just buy your team the time they need. As a killer, your job is even simpler. Kill all those who try to escape, using your unique abilities to guarantee no one gets out alive. With each survivor and killer having unique powers and stats, no two matches feel the same. Now, before we get into the pros or cons, I decided to add this little segment where I talk about some of the things about Daybreak that aren't pros or cons, just some things I wanted to talk about. This is either because I think it's funny, I just think it'd be cool to mention, or they are things that bother only me, so it shouldn't be held against the game. The game has several collaborations in it. They have added several characters and skins from other Roblox games, and as of recently, even games outside of Roblox with the recent Nocturnals paragraph. When it comes to skins, they've made skins for Silent Hill, Stranger Things, Scream, RPG Maker, Valorant, the list goes on. The idea of a killer rocking up to a gen and seeing Yoru from fucking Valorant on it is really funny to me. This kind of stuff is pretty cool, as it gets more people to play the game when they see their favorite characters. Speaking of the new people, this is, at least from what I know, a very inclusive gaming community. This is most likely because of how ragingly gay this game is, and I love it. Like, I went to the LGBTQ category on the wiki, and every character in the damn game was there. It's great. Now, if you have a problem with that, get out. No one likes you. Well, I will talk more about this later. I find this game's voice acting really funny. Since Daybreak is on Roblox, they can't be too explicit with their voice lines, which leads to some pretty funny lines, at least to me. Like the super depressed looking Amari saying stuff like,
What the flip?
That's just really funny to me. You know what? I'm just gonna play some of the voice I think are funny. Just hold on.
Check it. I'm a scary black cat.
Just go die already.
Whoa! It's dark. Do not kick that. Stop! I command you.
Security system, as if.
Ooh, where am I? Perplexed.
Scorpio. I think we might be compatible.
I'm not giving you a pizza, freak!
I'm gonna end it there, or I can keep going for hours. Now, for something that bugs me, and probably only me, the music. Now, the music is not bad at all. I mean, just listen to some of it. My issue is that not every killer has unique chase music, so here I am, enjoying my video game, when all of a sudden... God, that song triggers my DVD PTSD. I want to be free. Get out of my fucking head! Alright, now let's actually go over some pros. You can't pick what side you play on, which might sound like a negative. I usually would agree, as I mostly enjoy playing the killer side of these games way more than Survivor, but I feel like in Daybreak they make it work. I usually hate this in games because a common issue that plagues Survivor in most Asyms is something I'll talk about later. However, because of Daybreak's unique characters and their perks, it makes Survivor gameplay actually fun, even if you're a killer player like me. Since every character has a unique ability, you're bound to find characters you like. For me, that's been Amari with Vagrant's Trick, and Elijah with Breakthrough. When you do get killer, it's just as fun. Each killer has something unique to them with an active and a passive, making them all play differently, even if they all still fall into a set number of categories. My favorites are the Boss, the Watcher, and the Stalker. You can also turn off playing as killer entirely if you only want to play Survivor. When you do play Survivor, you can see all of your teammates and what they're doing in the corner of your screen, so you can always know what your team is doing, like if they're repairing generators, or being chased, or healing, or down, whatever. There's also a quick chat system to tell your team what's going on, like if the killer's nearby, if your ability is off cooldown, that kind of thing. Taking a step to more killer and survivor interaction, survivors can only go down twice before dying, unless they have a perk to take more than one hit or have an iris flower. Now, once again, this sounds like a negative, and once again, Daybreak makes it work. While yes, this 2-down system isn't great for the new player, it makes the game feel more tense and action-packed, making you feel the horror the game is going for. It prevents matches from dragging out alongside the timer that helps the same issue, as very few characters have access to a second or third chance. It also allows the creation of perks that need dead survivors to work without forcing them to be useless until mid to late game. Now let's talk about voice acting. I really like the voice acting in this game. You can tell that every VA put their all into their roles, ranging from the party girl,
Let's party, y'all!
to the stern agent,
I'd stab you in the neck with an icicle if I could.
to the nervous healer,
Are you okay? I can fix it.
to the creepy stalker.
I'll count down from 10.
The range of characters and their voices is really cool. I don't know, I'm just a sucker for good voice acting. Now, while I really like this game, it's not perfect, nothing really is. My first issue with the game is an issue that lingers in most Asyms that I feel like is worse in Daybreak, that being generators and their speed. Now, it's an unfortunate fact that generators are boring. This is a problem in every Asym game, and Daybreak, in my opinion, makes it worse. This is because generator repair speed is a stat, so some characters just suck at doing gens. Outside of killer interaction, you only have gens to do, so if your gen stat is low and you're not in chase, you just have to sit and wait, making an already boring task even more tedious. Now, I know, I already hear the comments saying not every character has to do gens and some characters shouldn't do gens. I understand that, and believe me, I have way more fun in chase than I do something on a gen, but gens have to get done. Someone's gotta do it, and because of the fact that generator repair speed can differ so greatly between characters, it just makes the task more boring, therefore people don't want to do it, therefore games don't end. Speaking of chase, there are some loops in the game that are straight up unbeatable if the survivor you're chasing is decent at the game. Many loops just have weird ass hitboxes, some loops have basically nothing blocking vision, so mind game is difficult, or you get stopped by my favorite, Roblox jank. This game is kinda plagued by Roblox jank, like weird hitboxes and lag, which, while it's not something the devs can fix, it does make the experience worse. And yeah, that's kinda it. If it wasn't already obvious, I really like this game. It's fun, it's engaging, and it's free. So give it a try, you got nothing to lose. Like I said in the intro, it's getting harder and harder to find good Asym games, so if you have any game you want me to look at, please drop a comment. Don't worry though, I already have another game in mind. Now if you need me, I'm gonna go knock some teeth in. Thanks for watching, leave a like, drop a comment if you have something to add, subscribe, stay safe, and have a good night.